I never believed a bunk bed could feel dangerous, until the night I slept on the top one and realized something underneath it was awake. If you've ever slept in a bunk bed, you already know how close the ceiling feels, how every movement creaks, how shadows stretch longer in the dark. But what I experienced wasn't just fear. It was the moment I understood that I wasn't alone in that room, and whatever was there had been waiting for me to climb up. This happened when I was staying at my cousin's house for a few weeks. Small place, old furniture, and one guest room with a wooden bunk bed that looked like it belonged in a kid's summer camp from the 90s. I took the top bunk because the bottom mattress smelled old and felt damp. That choice still haunts me. Before I continue, if you enjoy slow burn horror stories like this, make sure to like the video and subscribe to Nightmare Chronicles. It really helps the channel grow, and you don't want to miss what's coming next. Trust me. The first night was quiet, too quiet. No traffic noise, no dogs barking, not even crickets outside. Just the faint ticking of a clock in the hallway and the soft breathing of my cousin sleeping in the next room. I lay on my back, staring at the ceiling barely a foot above my face, listening to the bunk bed creak every time I shifted my weight. Then I heard it. A soft scraping sound, slow, controlled, coming from directly below me. At first, I assumed it was the bed settling or the wood expanding. Old houses do that. I told myself not to be dramatic, but the sound happened again. 3 short scrapes, followed by a pause, like someone dragging their fingernails lightly across the wooden frame of the lower bunk. I froze. I held my breath and listened. Nothing. Just silence. I checked my phone. 2:17 a.m. The glow of the screen barely lit the room. The ladder to the bunk bed cast a shadow on the wall that looked taller than it should have been. I turned my phone face down and closed my eyes, forcing myself to sleep. That's when the mattress beneath me shifted slightly. Not enough to make noise, but enough for me to feel it. As if weight had been placed on the lower bunk, my heart started racing. No one else was supposed to be in that room. I slowly leaned over the edge of the top bunk and looked down. The bottom bunk was empty. The blanket was perfectly flat. No one there. I felt stupid for being scared. I climbed back up and pulled the blanket over my shoulders. Then I heard breathing, slow, deep, not mine. It was coming from beneath me. I lay completely still, afraid that even the smallest movement would let it know I was awake. The breathing wasn't human. It was too steady, too controlled, like something practicing how to breathe rather than actually needing to. Each breath came with a faint wheezing sound, followed by a soft click like a tongue pressing against teeth. I whispered my cousin's name. No response. The breathing stopped instantly. That silence was worse than the sound. I waited, counting the seconds in my head. 10, 20, 30. Then the bunk bed shook violently, just once, as if something had grabbed the frame from below and yanked it. I almost screamed. I jumped down the ladder, not caring about the noise, and ran into the hallway. My cousin came out of his room, half asleep, asking what was wrong. I told him someone was under the bed. He checked, turned on the lights, looked annoyed. There was nothing there. He laughed it off, said the house makes noises at night, told me to stop watching horror videos before sleeping. I wanted to believe him. I really did. The second night was worse. I tried sleeping on the couch, but my aunt insisted I use the bed again. She said the couch hurt her back. I didn't argue. I climbed the ladder slowly, every creak making my skin crawl. I left the light on this time. Around 3 a.m., I woke up because something touched my arm. A light tap. Gentle. Curious. I opened my eyes and realized my arm was hanging slightly over the edge of the bunk. I pulled it back instantly. The light was still on. The room looked normal. But then I noticed something that made my stomach drop. The ladder had moved. It was closer to the bed than before, angled slightly inward, as if someone had repositioned it to climb up more easily. I sat up, heart pounding, staring at the ladder. That's when I saw fingers wrap slowly around the side of the bed frame below me. Pale. Too long. The nails were dark, chipped, and pressed into the wood hard enough to leave marks. I couldn't scream. I couldn't move. The fingers tightened, and the bed creaked softly as something began pulling itself upward. I felt warm breath against my ankle. I don't remember climbing down. I don't remember opening the door. I just remember being outside, barefoot on the cold driveway, shaking uncontrollably, my phone in my hand with no idea how it got there. My cousin found me minutes later. The bunk bed was empty. No marks. No fingerprints. Nothing. I left the next morning and never went back. A week later, my cousin texted me saying they were getting rid of the bunk bed. Apparently, his little sister had been hearing whispering from underneath it, calling her name at night. If you've ever slept in a bunk bed and felt like something was watching you from below, you're not alone. Some spaces remember who used them before you. Some beds hold more than just dreams. If this story made you uneasy, let me know in the comments. Have you ever experienced something strange while sleeping? Share this story with someone who still sleeps in a bunk bed. And don't forget to subscribe to Nightmare Chronicles for more true-style horror stories that stay with you long after the lights go out. Tonight, when you close your eyes, listen carefully. You never know what might be awake beneath you.